Every man at some point in his life has faced the mystery of female psychology, the silent signals, the unspoken attraction, and the complicated dance of emotions that unfold behind guarded expressions. The truth is, women often feel more than they reveal. Sometimes they like you, sometimes they admire you deeply, but instead of showing it openly, they hide it, suppress it, or even act like it doesn't exist. Why? Because vulnerability for many women feels dangerous. They don't want to appear too eager. They don't want to lose the upper hand. And they don't want their emotions to be dismissed or misused. In this video, we will uncover the hidden signs a woman likes you but is trying not to show it. We will go beyond surface-level advice and look at the deeper layers of female psychology, guided by the philosophical insights of Agnes Callard, one of today's most thought-provoking philosophers. Known for her work on aspiration and human desires, Callard's ideas help us understand how people reach towards something they want, even when they are not ready to admit it to themselves or to others. And this is exactly what happens when a woman is attracted to a man, but struggles to let that attraction be visible. So, if you've ever been confused by mixed signals, if you've ever wondered why a woman behaves in ways that seem contradictory, and if you've ever wanted to know how to recognize her hidden interest without chasing or begging for clarity, this video will open your eyes. We will explore 7 signs step by step, showing you not only how to read them but also how to maintain your confidence, purpose, and masculine strength in the process. Remember this: attraction is not always loud, obvious, or direct. Sometimes it hides in the quiet details, in the things unsaid, in the way she looks away or the way she lingers just a little too long. By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these signs, but you'll also understand why women hide their feelings in the first place. And once you understand, you'll no longer feel lost, you'll feel powerful. Part 1. Her words say no, but her actions say yes. One of the clearest signs a woman likes you but doesn't want to admit it is when her actions and her words don't match. She might tell you she's not interested, or she might act dismissive, but if you pay attention, you'll notice her behavior betrays her. Maybe she says she doesn't care if you text or not, yet she replies quickly whenever you do. Maybe she insists she's too busy to meet but somehow finds ways to cross paths with you. Maybe she pretends she's unaffected, yet her eyes light up when she sees you enter the room. This contradiction is not a coincidence, it's psychology at work. Agnes Callard explains in her philosophy of aspiration that people often reach for things they desire before they fully acknowledge or even understand what they want. A woman might not consciously decide to show attraction, but her subconscious behavior reveals it. She's torn between 2 forces: the desire to protect her pride and the pull of genuine affection. From a motivational standpoint, this is a reminder to all men. Don't be deceived by words alone. Actions are the true mirror of emotions. If her body language, attention, and reactions contradict her verbal denials, it means there's something deeper going on. Instead of getting frustrated, stay calm. Your role is not to expose her feelings prematurely, but to maintain your own center of gravity. When you notice this contradiction, it's a powerful sign. It shows that her rational mind is trying to hold back, but her emotions are already invested. And that, my friend, is attraction she doesn't want you to see but cannot fully hide. Part 2. The accidental presence. The second sign is subtle but incredibly telling. She finds ways to be around you, yet frames it as coincidence. Maybe she shows up at the same cafe you like. Maybe she lingers near your group of friends. Maybe she happens to sit close in class, at work, or in social gatherings. At first you might think it's chance, but when it keeps happening, understand that accidental presence is rarely accidental. Why does she do this? Because being around you feeds her desire without forcing her to admit it. She wants to feel your energy, hear your voice, and be noticed by you, but she shields it under the guise of coincidence. This allows her to protect her pride while still drawing closer to what she wants. Here is where Callard's philosophy is powerful. She describes aspiration as the process of trying to want something you don't yet fully know how to want. That is exactly what happens here. She wants your presence, but she cannot admit it outright. So she orbits your world, not too close to reveal her intentions, but not too far to lose the connection. This is not manipulation, it is protection. Women know that showing too much interest too quickly can make them vulnerable, so they rely on these safe signals instead. And your job as a man is not to chase her or demand clarity, but to recognize the truth. If she keeps showing up in your world, it's because she wants to be there. The motivational lesson here is profound. A man must not rely on loud declarations of interest. True attraction is often quiet. It's in the lingering presence, in the repeated coincidences, in the pattern of accidental meetings. If you stay aware and calm, you'll notice these things. And when you do, you'll no longer doubt yourself. You'll see the truth clearly. The third sign is one of the most powerful and yet the easiest to overlook: her eyes. You see, no matter how much a woman tries to control her words, her posture, or even her voice, her eyes are almost impossible to control. They reveal attraction, interest, and emotional intensity in ways she cannot mask completely. If a woman likes you but doesn't want to show it, you'll notice subtle but telling patterns. She may glance at you when she thinks you're not looking, only to quickly look away if you catch her. She may hold eye contact for a second too long, as if frozen in a moment of silent connection, before breaking it off nervously. Or she might do the opposite, avoid direct eye contact altogether because she knows that looking into your eyes would give away what she feels. Agnes Callard's work on aspiration helps us understand this behavior. She argues that human beings often live in the tension between what they currently are and what they are becoming. A woman who likes you but doesn't want to show it lives in this exact tension. Her current self insists she must remain guarded, while her future self, the one that admits her attraction, keeps pulling her closer. And in that battle, her eyes betray her truest feelings. Men often underestimate this. They focus on words, text messages, or social media activity, forgetting that real attraction leaks out through body language, especially the eyes. When you sense nervous avoidance, lingering stares, or quick glances, don't dismiss them as random. Recognize them as the subconscious signaling of attraction. The motivational truth here is simple. Learn to read silence. Learn to read the unsaid. A woman's eyes often communicate more than her mouth ever will. If you notice this sign, you are already closer to the truth than most men ever get. Part 4. Emotional shifts around you. The fourth sign is emotional intensity, the way her mood changes in your presence. When a woman likes you but tries to suppress it, she often experiences emotional conflict. This conflict creates visible shifts. She may act cold one moment and warm the next, distant one day and attentive the next. Have you ever noticed a woman teasing you in ways she doesn't tease others? Or getting irritated by you for small things? Or suddenly becoming overly polite after ignoring you? These are not random mood swings. They are signs of inner turbulence, her attraction battling her attempt to control it. Agnes Callard teaches that aspiration is not a smooth journey but a process filled with tension, resistance, and even self-denial. A woman in this position is aspiring toward closeness but resists admitting it. She wants to be near you, but she also wants to protect herself from rejection, loss of dignity, or the fear of appearing weak. The result is visible in these emotional fluctuations. As a man, your mistake would be to take these shifts personally. Many men react with frustration. Why is she cold today? Or why is she ignoring me now? Instead, you must view these changes as a reflection of attraction in disguise. Her inconsistency is not rejection. It is her attempt to regulate feelings she doesn't want to reveal. The motivational lesson here is mastery of your emotions. If you let her fluctuations destabilize you, you lose your power. But if you stay steady, calm, and unbothered, you rise above the storm. Remember, consistency in you will eventually calm the inconsistency in her. And when she sees your strength, her attraction only deepens. Part 5. Protective disguises and mixed messages. The fifth sign is the way she hides her interest under protective disguises, sometimes by pretending she isn't impressed, sometimes by teasing you, and sometimes by sending confusing signals. This is what creates the infamous mixed signals that men complain about. But here's the truth. Mixed signals are not a lack of interest. They are proof of interest carefully disguised. She might compliment you in a backhanded way, saying something playful that hides admiration under humor. She might ignore your message, then suddenly respond enthusiastically hours later. She might act indifferent in public but secretly check your stories, your posts, or your updates with surprising consistency. Each of these is a disguise, a way of hiding her attraction while still staying connected to you. Agnes Callard's philosophy illuminates this paradox beautifully. She argues that when people aspire, they live in a state of partial knowledge. They know they want something but cannot fully admit or articulate it. A woman who likes you but doesn't show it embodies this state. Her disguises are her way of negotiating between desire and denial. The key for men is not to get trapped in the confusion of these disguises. Don't overanalyze every word or emoji. Instead, step back and see the pattern. If she consistently finds ways to stay in your orbit, even through mixed signals, it means she values the connection. The disguise is only a shield. Here lies the motivational wisdom. True strength is found in patience and perception. A man who understands female psychology does not beg for clarity, nor does he fall apart at the sight of mixed signals. Instead, he recognizes them as signs of hidden attraction and responds with calm confidence. This calmness separates the strong from the desperate, the masculine from the needy. Another powerful sign that a woman likes you but doesn't want to show it is the way she invests, quietly, subtly, in your world. She might ask about your interests, casually drop questions about your routine, or show curiosity about your ambitions. She won't make it obvious, but you'll notice that she remembers little details you've mentioned in passing. Maybe she recalls your favorite coffee. Maybe she remembers the story you told weeks ago. Maybe she checks in on something important happening in your life. To you, these might feel like small gestures, but in truth, they are enormous signals. Why? Because attention is a form of investment. And when a woman invests her attention in you, even secretly, it reveals her emotional attachment. Agnes Callard reminds us that aspiration is a process of transformation, of moving towards something greater than your current self. For a woman who hides her attraction, her investment in your world reflects this process. She may not be ready to declare her interest, but her actions show that she is preparing herself for deeper involvement. She is aligning herself with your path even if she pretends not to care. The motivational insight here is critical. Pay attention not only to what a woman says, but to what she remembers. If she invests energy in knowing you, if she stays connected to your world in subtle ways, she is revealing more than she wants you to know. Your task is not to overreact or boast, but to stay grounded. Quietly recognize the truth. Her investment is proof of hidden desire. Part 7. Jealousy in Disguise. The seventh and final sign is perhaps the most telling: jealousy. But when a woman doesn't want to show her attraction, her jealousy rarely appears directly. Instead, it emerges in disguised forms: sarcasm, playful teasing, subtle questions about other women, or a shift in mood when she sees you give attention elsewhere. Maybe she makes a joke about another woman texting you. Maybe she goes quiet when you mention someone else. Maybe she suddenly changes the subject when the conversation turns to your romantic life. These small reactions, when consistent, are signals of hidden attraction. She might not admit it, but her emotions betray her. Philosophically, Agnes Callard's concept of aspiration once again helps us decode this. To aspire is to struggle between who we are now and who we are becoming. Jealousy reflects this struggle perfectly. A woman who hides her interest feels torn. She doesn't want to reveal her feelings, yet she cannot escape the emotional reaction when she sees potential competition. Her jealousy is the silent cry of attraction denied. As a man, you must handle this with wisdom. Never mock her jealousy, never expose it harshly. Instead, recognize it as a sign of value, because people only feel jealousy over things they desire. A woman's jealousy is proof of emotional investment. If you see this, you can be certain her heart is more involved than her words will ever admit. Ending: the power of understanding. Hidden attraction. So, what do we learn from all this? That attraction is not always direct, loud, or obvious. In fact, the strongest feelings often come wrapped in disguise, through contradictions, accidental presence, hidden eyes, emotional shifts, protective disguises, subtle investments, and jealousy. Women, like all human beings, protect their vulnerability. They fear rejection, judgment, and loss of dignity, so instead of confessing openly, they signal quietly. But if you, as a man, learn to see through these signals, you gain an incredible power. Not the power to manipulate, but the power to understand. Agnes Callard's philosophy teaches us that human beings are always reaching toward what they aspire to, even if they cannot fully admit it yet. Attraction works the same way. A woman may not confess her feelings, but she reveals them in the way she orbits your life, invests in your world, and reacts emotionally to your presence. And here is the motivational truth. Your job is not to chase, not to beg, not to force clarity. Your job is to stay centered, strong, and calm, because when you understand the hidden language of attraction, You no longer fear mixed signals. You no longer doubt yourself. Instead, you stand with quiet confidence, knowing the truth without needing loud declarations. Men who master this understanding rise above the confusion. They move with strength, they attract naturally, and they never let hidden feelings control their own emotions. Remember this always: if she hides her attraction, it doesn't mean it isn't there. Often, the strongest emotions are the ones most carefully concealed. So pay attention. Read the signs. And most importantly, stay strong in who you are. Because in the end, true power is not in forcing others to reveal their feelings, it's in mastering your own.